Evening. I hope we are all well. My screen is about to crash by the looks of it. Let me fix that 2 seconds. Let me just fix that. Two seconds. What is going on? StreamYard is lagging. Bear with me. Just got to quit some stuff. Okay, has that worked? Yep, okay, that looks better. Okay, hope you're all well. Just waiting for you to arrive in. If you can hit the like and subscribe, please, that would be great. Say hello to a couple of people on the way in. Big up Polo, big up Bonkers, big up Edwards, big up LFC Shankly, evening USA Copy, evening James, evening AA, evening LFC 20, Tom Wong, hello, Leroy Scouser, yo, Richard Rosa, hit the likes, come on. Great to see lots of members in here, which is great. Big up Mezzy. Got quite a lot to cover tonight. There's been quite a bit that's happened in the last 2 days, I think it was 2 days since the last time I went live. I also want to say thank you very, very much as well. We're about to hit 100,000 views on my channel, which is a big milestone. I think it's a big milestone for any YouTube content creator who's quite new to the game. So to hit 100,000 views on my videos is amazing, and I thank you all for that, and also for the support. I've got over 60 members now, which is brilliant. So I'll post another video up next week. Big up Carmino, also big up Podge, also evening YNWA. I'm not sure why my channel wouldn't divert from Jamie, because I looked at the settings and it is on divert. So I don't know, but I don't know. Who knows? StreamYard's been a bit funny lately. Also, big up man like Jav. Everybody's jumping in now. Hit the likes, hit the subscribes. Let's jump into it then. Okay, so first of all, Liverpool Echo, also big up Graham. Liverpool Echo, pretty good source for information. Today, Liverpool giving free run at Dream Arnie slot transfer as Arsenal reach £85 million agreement. So what they're talking about is Arsenal have reached an £85 million agreement for Sesko, which means we've got free run. Big up Solo P1 as well in the house. If you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. Basically, we've got a free run on Isak. Arsenal will have obviously got their man in Sesko. I know that they were choosing between Sesko or Victor Gyökeres. For me, I think Gyökeres is the better player. He's got a better proven track record. But Arsenal obviously are really, really good at making bad decisions. So they're probably going to sign the wrong guy, which is fine. Works out good for me. So they can have Sesko. Looks like they're not going to get Nico Williams. He's going to Barcelona. He's not listening to any of the clubs now. And they're also probably going to miss out on Rodrigo as well, who Xabi Alonso wants to keep. So who knows who Arsenal might end up getting. Maybe Arsenal will end up getting Jadon Sancho or Garnacho. I don't know. And quite frankly, I don't care. But what I do care about is who my club go and get. And my club are moving like madness. What I will say though, and this isn't an agenda, and this isn't something that like I've suddenly cooked up. You need to go and watch the Jurgen Klopp interviews where he consistently complains and consistently tells the press, I can't do nothing about it. I can't sign these players. We don't have money. We can't do what Manchester City do. We can't do what Bayern Munich do. We can't do what PSG do. We don't have the capabilities. Listen to the videos. Go and watch them over and over again. I think we need to understand the reason why we didn't sign anyone in those years when we needed players, and the reason why we didn't sign any of the big players is one reason. And that reason was Jurgen Klopp. That is the reason why we never signed the big guns. It's the reason why we didn't go and get these players. Because, yeah, we might have put a bid in for Tchouaméni. Yeah, we might have put a bid in for this guy and that guy. But if Jurgen Klopp didn't get the guy, then we didn't go for anyone else. And this is the difference. This is the difference with a director of football that isn't just a yes man. This is the difference. You've got choice 1, you've got choice 2, you've got choice 3, you've got choice 4. Oh, guess what? We might even have choice 5. And if we don't get 1, then we'll get 2. If we don't get 2, we'll get 3. And guess what? If we don't get 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 comes available, we go and get 1. It's exactly what we're playing with now. Exactly what we're playing with. And for all those people who were sat there saying, oh, you know what, we never had ambition. We never had ambition. We never went and got that guy. We had a big German blocker in the way. Over and over again. It's the reason why it took our own board of directors to send someone over called Billy Hogan to put a bid in for Caicedo. That's the reason why Caicedo bid wasn't made by Jurgen. Jurgen didn't know about it. It's the reason why. It's the reason why the club went, you know what? F this. We need a midfielder. We're going to get the best one in the Premier League right now in Moses Caicedo. And we're going to spend whatever we need to. And that's why we blew Chelsea out the water and we made a bid which was 110 million, which was more than Chelsea's, and it got accepted. But we just didn't speak to the player. And Jurgen didn't know about it. It's the reason why the biggest transfer bid we ever made at Liverpool wasn't by Jurgen. It's the reason why. It wasn't made by Jurgen because Jurgen didn't want to spend any money. It's a massive tight ass. He just was. Like, he was so old-fashioned about it. Like, you have to realise this. Like, go and look at his previous with Dortmund and Mainz. He never spent a penny. He never spent a penny. He was all about making world-class players. He was all about that. He was all about the underdog mentality, which, quite frankly, I was fed up of. And we should have all been fed up of the underdog mentality after we won the Premier League and the European Cup. Once you win the Premier League and the European Cup, you don't try and go again with the underdog mentality attitude. That goes out the window because you're not the underdog anymore. Because you just won. You just won a Premier League. for the first time in 30 years. You're not the underdog. You just won a Champions League, which the team that won the Premier League hadn't won and couldn't win. So you went and won that. You don't go into the next season as an underdog. You don't want to keep on playing, keep on pulling that underdog card out. And unfortunately, it brainwashed a lot of our fans. It brainwashed a lot of our fans. And we all sat there acting like we were the underdog. We're not the underdog. We're Liverpool FC. We've won the lot over and over again. We've won more league titles. We've won more cups than anybody else. We are at the top of the perch. We have won more than Manchester United in total. And they dominated the Premier League for 17 years with Fergie. So we've been there. We've done it. Whether it's history, whether it's non-history, like as in the 20th century, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. And this is what Arne Slot got right. As soon as he came into the club, the first conversation he had with the team, and this is from Mo Salah, by the way. This isn't out of my mouth. This is from Mo Salah. First conversation he had with the team is he sat everyone down and he said, I want you all to get out of your heads that you are an underdog. You are capable of winning the league. You are capable of doing better than third place. And that's what he got into every single player. Every single player, he got that into their heads. You are not the underdog. You can win the league. And guess what we did? We won the league. And we can do it again. We can do it again. Because we're not the underdog. And we don't act like one anymore. And that's the reason why Liverpool are looking at Alexander Isak. And everybody can sit there, all of the other opposition fans and all of these media people, they can all sit there and go, oh, well, Newcastle don't have to sell. Well, I'm sorry, guys, but Newcastle, you're the underdog. You're the underdog because you finished 5th. You barely scraped into the Champions League. And conversations with Alexander Isak are very simple. You have to ask him one question. You have to ask Isak one question. That's all you need to do. One question. Ring him up on the phone. One question. Alexander, do you think your club is capable of winning a Premier League or a Champions League in the next 2 years? That's the question you ask Isak. Because that's how long he's got left on his contract. And the answer is no. The answer is no. They're not. Newcastle aren't going to win the Premier League next year or the year after, and they won't win the Champions League this year or the year after. The answer is no. And then the next question is probably going to come from Isak. And it's going to be, my head's turned. Do you want to sign me, Liverpool? Yes, we do. We want to make you our number 9 next season. And guess what, Alexander? We can win the league next season. We can win the Champions League next season. Because we've done it. We've done it. We've just won the league. If it wasn't for PSG, we'd have probably won the Champions League, if we're completely honest. Because there wasn't anyone there that was scary. There was no team in that Champions League that was worrying me, apart from PSG. And I also said Inter Milan. If you remember, you can clip all my streams back. I said it on numerous channels, especially Mo's, Judge Mo's channel, and also big up Judge Mo. He's an Inter Milan fan. And I sat there and said, your team and PSG are the ones which I worry about. I don't want to draw you in the knockouts. And guess what? We got PSG, who beat Inter Milan 5-0 in the final. They're the best team in the world. Like, they just absolutely destroyed. I can't remember who they played, but Atletico Madrid. They just destroyed Atletico Madrid, who finished third in their league. Like, they're not a bad team. They battered them. They absolutely battered them. It could have been a hell of a lot more goals. And that's the question. That's the question. Are Newcastle the underdog? Yes, they are. Does Alexander Isak have ambition? I'll tell you what, if he's coming to Liverpool, he best have ambition. He best have ambition if he's coming to Liverpool. Because you're not signing for Liverpool. You are not signing for Liverpool if you don't believe you can win the league. You are not signing the Liverpool if you don't think you can win the Champions League. Because we are not having players that are coming to Liverpool for no other reason than to win trophies. And Arsenal know that. And Chelsea know that. And Manchester City know that. And they best be frightened. And they best be scared. And they best spend tons of money on players, because they're going to have to. Because we've got a nucleus which has already won it before, and now they've won it again. And that's hard. That is a hard mentality to take out of players. It's not easy. This is what Fergie did so well. This is what Alex Ferguson did so well for Manchester United. He'd have a nucleus of players that had won titles after titles and trophies after trophies, and then he'd keep on refreshing. He'd keep on buying world-class players that could go for another 4 years in that team, and then rotating. Just keep on that revolving door. Doesn't have to revolve too much, but 3 or 4 every single year. And coaches, the coaches revolve as well. We have to look at the way we're doing things. We've just won the league. We're revolving the door. Players are leaving. Big players are coming in. Coaches are leaving. Coaches are leaving. We're losing under 21 coaches. We're losing under 18 managers. We've rotated our assistant manager, one of our coaches in Johnny Heitinger, to get Gio van Bronckhorst. I mean, you all know that the last person to win the league with Feyenoord before Slot was Gio van Bronckhorst. Like, this is how the continuity works. This is how you keep on winning. You keep your winners. And the players that don't want to win anymore, you move them on. You move them on. And you get other players that can replace them who've got a winning mentality. Just like the like of Frimpong, just like the likes of Wirtz. Not so much with Kerkez, but Kerkez did well. Like, played really well last season. You know, unfortunately, Bournemouth dropped off at the end because they have a small squad. You know, they have a small squad of players. Like, they dropped off towards the end. Nobody really thought they were going to get into Europe or the Champions League, even though they were there or thereabouts. 10 games to go, Bournemouth were like 5th or 6th. So they were there or thereabouts, but they just dropped off at the end, which happens. Like, they got a small squad. And they've been completely decimated. Like, Bournemouth have been decimated. We took their left back. Real Madrid took their centre back. PSG have taken their other centre back. It looks like Manchester United or Arsenal might be taking their forward. Like, that's just how it goes. Like, they're a team that sells players to make more money to then rejuvenate. But then you've got the likes of the people at the club, like Richard Hughes, who Kerkez and his dad said, if we had to move to Finland, we'd follow him. We'd do as he says. Because every single step of the way, Kirkes feels comfortable with Richard Hughes as the director of football. This is the difference. We're not underdogs anymore. And I'm fed up of that tag that we were given. And we were given that because of Jurgen, unfortunately. Like, I understand siege mentality because Mourinho did that, but Mourinho never played on the underdog. Like, it was siege mentality. It was like, yeah, we just do our thing. Like, we're all in this together. I understand that. But you don't go around playing on the underdog card when you've just won a league and you've also won the Champions League. Like, you don't do that. That's not what we are. We've won more leagues and more cups than anyone else. Like, and we will continue to win. And this manager came in, yeah, and one of his main goals, he said it in his press, he said it in the first interview he did. He said, my first goal is to get more than 83 points. That's what he said. I need the team to get more than 83 points because you can't win the league with less than 83 points. That's what he said. And he finished on 84 points, I believe, in the end. And that was what he said. So he already achieved his first goal. But he already planted that seed of the squad understanding, guys, we need to be on our game here. Like, Slot's not messing around. Like, he's already said in the first presser, we need to be getting more than 83 points. Like, so he's already saying we need to be challenging. Like this isn't like, oh, just get back into Europe. No, this is, we need a points tally to challenge. And that's what we did. And we have to realize as well that we went for the league, like, balls out. We went full in for the league. Like, everyone can sit there and go, oh, you know, we should have gone for the quadruple and we should have gone for the Champions League and the league and this and that. No, the target was never that. The target was never the cups. It was never the Champions League. It was always the league. When we got past January and we realized we needed maybe 5 more wins, we could win the league, then we went for the league and we played full strength teams against Southampton at home and teams like that, because we knew that Arsenal dropped points. Arsenal had a habit of dropping points. And if Arsenal dropped another draw here or another draw there, and we just kept on winning our games, some of them were close games because it was a tough league. And you know it was a tough league because the last game of the season, there was 6 teams that could have finished in the top 4. Like, there were so many teams all the way down to 10th position that could have got into the Champions League on the last day of the season. Like, that's how good competitive the league was. And it got to a stage where it was, we just win our games now. Like, we need to win games. And he just went full strength all the time. Couldn't rest players, couldn't really rotate for the games, couldn't play his best teams in the cup games because we had to play them in the Premier League, because that was the goal. And I'm sorry, like, and I know some of you sat there going, oh, you know, if we'd have played this player or he'd done this, we could have done this. But what if we'd have not won the league? We'd all be sat there going, well, we didn't end up with anything. Oh, we ended up with a Carabao Cup, but we didn't win the league. Be careful what you wish for. Like, there's a reason why teams don't go and win trebles and doubles and quadruples. There's a reason why it doesn't happen. You have to have targets. The target was probably top 4 from the board. The target from Slot was to win the league. Pretty obvious that was now. And to get back into the Champions League and to go again. I would say that's what it was at first. But by January, it was, oh, we can win the league by the end of February, maybe. So we just went all out. We just went all out. Yeah, you're right there. We did have a habit of scoring 2+ goals in games because we went all out. Anyway, so now we got a free run at Isak, which is amazing. Like, that's a free run at Isak. Like, if Barcelona spent 85 million on Isco, then Sesko, then they're not in the running. They're not in the running. And Isak's an interesting one for me. What I did want to mention is I don't think this £150 million is real. I just don't think it is. What we have to look at is you just have to look at something which is just called the monetary value in a player. Yeah, they paid 58 million for Isak. Yeah, Isak isn't worth 150 million. He's just not worth 150 million. Like, he's worth around 97 to 106 million. That's what his value is worth, around that number. The rumours of 117 million, I think it's fabricated. I think we will still bid 101 million, which is what's always been talked about. I've talked about this for weeks now. For weeks. I think it will be 101 million, and then we will test the water. And I also I didn't really think of this. Like, I mentioned this on Terry's show on the Football Terrace. I just wrote it in the chat, and he brought it up and started talking about it. I didn't really think about it until recently. Isak's been in hospital with a minor operation. How could we sign him? Like, how could we have were we having negotiations while he's on a drip in the hospital? Like, that's just not feasible. Like, that's just not something we can do. So I believe this is a case of, we've spoken to him, his head's been turned. Like, his head's been turned. Like, Eddie Howe was interviewed at the end of the season, and Eddie Howe didn't say Isak's going nowhere. Eddie Howe said, I can't guarantee if any of our players will be here next season. Like, he came out and said that. Like, and he can't guarantee, because Newcastle had to sell £100 million worth of play. Well, they had to make 100 million for PSR last year, and they sold 2 of their best youngsters. Like, say what you want about Yakuba Minter. Like, he's a great player. Like, he did really well under Slot as well, which was an interesting, because when he was getting sold, I thought, well, surely Slot might be looking at him, but obviously he didn't. And then you've also got the midfielder that they sold, who I think is sensational midfielder. So you've got 2 of their best youngsters who were probably going to kick on, and there's no doubt that they'd have played more games last season and might even be in the first team like this season coming. And they had to sell them for PSR issues. And we also have to look at the fact that we were offered Anthony Gordon, and he was having a medical in Leipzig during the England game, during the England friendly that was going on over there. And Joe Gomez was also booked in, and that deal was happening. It was 50 million in Gomez. Like, that deal was happening. Like I know it came completely out of the blue. Nobody knew about it, and it just dropped out of nowhere. So Newcastle sell players. They offered Isak to us for 100 million last year. and they offered him to Arsenal for 100 million, and both the clubs turned it down because the money was too much. Yeah, they will sell players. There is definitely an opportunity to give them double the money they paid for him. They paid 58 million. If they get 120 million, the board are looking at that as that's a lot of profit that can help our PSR, which can then rebuild the squad. Because there's still a number of players in that team that need replacing. They haven't got a big enough team for the Champions League, and they are looking at a couple of players. They're looking at João Pedro. They're looking at Diamande. That's 100 million. That's all their money spent. Like, that's all their PSR money spent that they'll have left. They might not be able to sign any more players, which is the reason why they're probably looking at giving a new contract to Callum Wilson. They're also looking at a goalkeeper, and they've got problems at the back. They don't have many central defenders. So I think there's a chance of us offering money, maybe a player. Joe Gomez has been mentioned again. And I think that's a really interesting one that you brought up. I think it's one or the other. I think if we don't get Isak, I think we might switch to Gordon. But I think Gordon might only be if Cody or Diaz goes. And I know there's a lot of you sat there thinking Cody's not going anywhere. And I genuinely believed that Cody wouldn't be going anywhere either. But then this came up. And this worries me. So this was brought up. Oh, I can't get rid of that screen. Why can't I get rid of that screen? So this one came up about Gomez anyway, so I'll bring this up. So 30 million from The Guardian. 8 clubs are looking at Gomez. 8 in the Premier League alone. He's got plenty of suitors. This one worries me. So if you can read through the entire article if you want, which basically says that Nico Williams is only waiting on Barcelona. So that means Diaz is not going. Okay, so we can all work out that if Nico Williams goes to Barcelona, Luis Diaz isn't. Yeah. Okay, so we got that. Now the next question is, what else is in there that worries me? Read the last line. Buying or keeping contacts with other targets. Barcola's not going. Matoma, really? Do you really think Matoma's going to go to Bayern Munich? Rafa Leao, maybe. And Gakpo. If Luis Diaz doesn't go to Barcelona, Cody Gakpo could go to Bayern Munich. And the rumour's not going away. And you've got German media mentioning his name now. And I told you about this weeks ago, that Bayern Munich were looking at a £72 million bid for Cody Gakpo. And this was from Sky Sports Germany. It's not going away. And there's no one's denied it. Cody's not denied it. Cody basically said, I leave everything to my agent. 72 million, the price was, but it might be more. It might end up being 82 million now, but 72 million. You also have to remember Bayern Munich have just lost Sane. They have space. They have space on the wing. They have space on the wing. And if Luis Diaz doesn't go because they sign Nico Williams, Cody could move. Exactly. And that's the interesting thing about Gordon. The Gordon links aren't going away. The Gordon links are not going away. And if we go back in for Gordon, because we don't get Isak, Cody could go. Cody could go. And then we use Diaz as a number 9 and a rotation with maybe Florian Wirtz playing as a false 9 as well. And maybe we go for another 9. I don't know. I really don't know. I just want to let you know that, that's all. I think Matoma's going to go to Saudi. And it's a really interesting one as well, because you brought him up and he's in my my headline anyway, Fofana. And that's what I wanted to move on to as well. Are we looking at Gordon as a number 9 who can obviously run the channels? He can play wide. He's very fast, brilliant presser of the ball. And he's a guy that you can mold into whatever you want. Like, maybe we are, maybe we're not. I don't know. Gordon's played number 9 for Newcastle. But Fofana is definitely a player that we're looking at. But I also wanted to bring this up as well, which makes me think that I don't think this guy's going to leave. Barcelona said to be losing patience trying to bring in Luis Diaz. Liverpool are requesting 80 million euros, but La Liga winners are only offering 60 million euros. And they could turn their attention to Nico Williams. Well, I think that's pretty obvious now. I think that's pretty obvious. And I think the Nico Williams is one that will happen. And this is the 100 million, which I talked about. Liverpool will try to sign Newcastle striker Isak and are willing to offer a 100 million guaranteed package. It's huge. It's just huge. It's really making a statement. And this was also from Ben Jacobs. Anthony Gordon remains a player that Liverpool want too. If Luis Diaz departs, I know we're talking about just Luis Diaz, but I do think that if Bayern Munich tested our resolve with 70, 80 million for Cody, I do think we'd take it. I do. I genuinely do. I do think we'd take it. I think every player that Jurgen signed with Linders is up for sale. Every player. Because none of them are consistent enough. None of them. They've shown flashes, but then they've gone missing for games. And you need to have consistency all season long, which is what Mo's provided. Which is what McAllister's provided. Which is what Virgil's provided. You need someone who's consistent all year long. Cody's not done that. Diaz hasn't done that. Certainly Nunez hasn't. Jota hasn't. There's an interesting quote about Jota, which I heard on the Anfield Wrap. and it was. I know Jota's underperformed this season, but maybe his injury was far worse than we knew, and that was the question. Like, is Jota underperforming because Jota's not good anymore, or is Jota underperforming because his injury was so bad that he needs more time to recover? Because you have to remember that there was rumours that he got a punctured lung from that elbow drop from the Chelsea player. And if Jota really did get a punctured lung, and he was having trouble breathing, and he broke his ribs, like, how can you be that player? How can you be that monster presser, the one that puts all the yards in up front? Like, how can you trust your body to be able to go into tackles under the thought of, God, if I get another knock on the side of my ribs, I'm done for. Like, I just think maybe we've overlooked that too much. And I know he had a poor season. I totally get that. But it wasn't Jota's fault that two blokes landed on top of him this season and he got badly injured by them. That's not his fault. Like, I don't think he's made of Weetabix. I think if Norgard landed on top of me from a great height on my knee when my leg's facing the other way, I think my knee would probably break. I think if Tosin Abadurara, who's about 7'9" and probably weighs about 20 stone, landed on top of me with his elbow into my rib cage, I think he'd probably break my ribs. I'm not being sentimental. I'm not being sentimental. I just think that maybe we're looking into it a bit much, and I don't see Jota leaving. By the way, I just don't. Okay, so that's the next thing I wanted to say as well, is I just don't see Jota leaving. He's got another 2 years left on his contract, and he's never been up for debate. Like, he's never been up for debate. Like, so I don't see anyone signing him as well, if I'm completely honest. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to mention. And I also wanted to mention as well, if we do go in for Isak, yeah, would anybody be against if we try to get Gordon as well? That's the question I want to ask. If we could have Gordon and Isak, and we sold Nunes and we got 70 million or whatever, which obviously paid for Gordon, and then obviously all we've got is the money for Isak, and then we're throwing in maybe a player like Gomez, and we signed Anthony Gordon and Isak, and we'd obviously have to sell Cody as well. So we're getting like 70 million for Cody and 70 million for Nunes. There's not a huge outlay that we're paying on Isak and Gordon. That would be insane. But that would just be insane. I think Gordon would throw in a transfer request, if I'm completely honest, Bruno. Gordon's form dropped off when he didn't make the Liverpool move. It's like his heart was broken. That would be insane. If we could combine Gordon on the left, Isak in the 9, Wirtz in the 10, and Salah on the right. Whoa. I mean, that's frightening. I mean, that really is frightening. I mean, that is frightening for me. It's absolutely frightening. And you give them enough money for them to go and do a rebuild. You give them enough money to go and do a rebuild. You give them 200 million. They could go and do a rebuild. And remember, we just got like 170, 80 million for Cody and Nunes. So the outlay wouldn't be as big as everyone's thinking. Because I think Gordon would 100% come to Liverpool and he'd put in a transfer request. I've got no doubt about that. And then if you could tempt Isak to Liverpool, just like we did with Wirtz and Frimpong, remember how we do things? Remember Kirkes, Dominic Szoboszlai? We're playing mind games as well. We're also playing into their hearts, as in, look, Alexander, we're signing Gordon, who's the guy who provides you bullets. Like, and one of the players you've always wanted to play with is Mo Salah. He's already there. And then you've got Florian Wirtz, who's the best number 10 in the world right now. Like, are you sure you don't want to come to Liverpool? Like, Anthony Gordon's going to be there. Like, he's your mate. And then Curtis Jones will be made up. Like, seriously? Like, absolutely. He'd love to play for Liverpool. He'd run through brick walls. Like, as much as people don't rate him, he's still only 24. And I genuinely believe he'd be a cracking signing. Like, I just think he'd just be a great signing. Like, he'd be morale. He'd put the yards in. He'd get stuck in as well. He's so fast. Like, he is so fast, which is something Cody and Diaz aren't. Like, that is something our wingers aren't, is fast. Like, Mo's not that fast anymore. Cody's not fast. Diaz isn't fast. Gordon's lightning. He's not crap. He's just not crap. I think Slot could turn him into an absolute worldie. Really do. Yep, 100%, even if it involves diving. I'd take him if it means we get Isak. 100%. 100%. If you hadn't hit the like and subscribe, please do. Let me see how many people I've got on the poll as well, because I did a poll. If you can hit that poll, that would be great. I'd like to see how many people. Oh, 74% of you think we'll get Isak. That's a lot. I'm pleased with that. I'm really pleased with that. Oh, come on. There's only 65 people have hit the like. Can we get the likes over 80? Come on. Hit the likes. Hit the likes. Don't be giving me Nunes numbers. Come on. I definitely want my video to have over 100 likes. That's like a minimum. Appreciate that. What other news have we got? We might as well mention this one then, mightn't we? So Chiesa and Nunes have already agreed to join Napoli. That's from a Napoli publication. So I think those two are pretty much certainty to leave. So we're taking nearly 300,000 off the wage budget there as well. And we'll potentially get around 70 million for those two. I think that's a great bit of business, considering that Nunes has been a flop and also Chiesa has been a flop as well. Like, unfortunately, that's a great bit of business for me. 70 million, maybe 75. I mean, that's a great bit of business. What else have we got? I've already shown the Florian Plettenberg. There was this one as well from Dean Marzo. Conversations set to continue between Napoli and Liverpool over Darwin Nunes in the coming days. I think this one will progress. I've actually got an interesting centre-back which we've been linked with, who I think is really good, by the way. and we've got great relations with their club, which has just popped up. So I'm gonna show you that. It'd be interesting how much this guy would cost as well. We've just sold them our goalkeeper, just to let you know. So that's the Gomez piece. So there's a couple of centre backs that I'll mention now because you've just brought that up. You just brought Hancho up. Obviously, Inacio is one. This one's not going away. It's just not. This one was heavily scouted by the committee and was a player that was recommended highly. What you've also got to look at as well is we haven't made any defensive signings for years. Like the last centre back we signed was Canate. Like we don't spend money on the defence that often. Like we got Trent on a free. We got Robbo for like the price it cost for, I think it was a midfielder that we sent the opposite direction. I can't remember his name. We signed him from Tottenham as well, like really cheap. I can't remember who that was. We obviously paid 75 million for Virgil, but that was a necessity, and that was something that had to be done. And that money was also from the sale of Coutinho. We got Joel Matip on a free. We got Joe Gomez for about 500,000 when he was 17. Like Simicast cost 12 million. And then you've got Connor Bradley, who came from the youth team. Like, we haven't spent any money on the defence. Canate was 32 million years ago. Like, we don't spend a lot of money on our defence. Like, we're due to buy a central defender. Like, we're due to buy one now. Like, we should be looking to buy one. Like, we haven't spent money on our defence in a long time. So now we're getting Kirkez for about 40 million. And now we've got Frimpong, who's going to cost 29 million. So we're investing in our defence again. I think we're probably going to go for a centre-back. Gerald Quansah came in on a free. We're probably going to get 40 million for him. We'll get potentially 30 million for Gomez. You're looking at 40, 50, 60, 70 million for two players that didn't cost us anything. Like, they didn't cost us anything. We might get 10 million for Robbo. We got 10 million for Trent. Potentially getting 80, 90 million for players that didn't cost us any money. Like, it's just great bit of business. It's just really good business by Liverpool. So I think we are looking at a centre-back. And I feel like Inacio is definitely one we could get done. He's worth about maybe 40 million. We might even be able to get him cheaper because his contract's running down. He's someone we've looked at before. Also, big up Suzanne. Massive thanks, Suzanne, for the raid. There's over 500 of you in here. Wow. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't. Big up. Nearly 600 in here. Blimey. That's the biggest I've had in here. Amazing stuff. Okay, so we continue. So Inacio is definitely one that Liverpool could get done. Absolutely. You know, he can also play on the left-hand side. He comes out from the back a lot. He's got really good passing ratio. Doesn't give the ball away often. He's a very calm player. He's also a winner. Like, he's just won the league title twice. He's also just won a cup with Portugal as a centre back. Like, the guy's a winner. Like, the guy is a winner. Like, you know, he's still only 22. I don't want him going to Manchester United. I really don't want him going to Manchester United. And for someone that we put that much effort in scouting, I'd like to get that one done. Like, he's a player that I do think's really good. But there's another guy that we're linked with, and I'm going to bring it up here because someone's just mentioned it in the chat, and it's Collins. It's a really interesting one because I believe he plays with Connor Bradley. Does he play with Connor Bradley in the same team? Is he Northern Ireland or is he Republic of Ireland? I don't know. Like, I just don't know. So let's take a look. So this is the rumor. Which newspaper is it from? Okay. So if you can see my screen, we can talk about this one as well later. Yeah, so it's where is it? Oh, I wanted to show you this. This was brilliant, by the way. So I found this today, which I thought was really interesting. If there's any non-Liverpool fans in here, because there might be, because Usan covers all clubs. This is a supercomputer which ran the league for next year, and it looks like it's going to be another low league number that wins. It's put us down at 82 points, which I find really funny, because obviously Slot, I talked about this earlier, like Slot, no underdog mentality, looking at winning the league with more than 83 points, and then this one's 82 points next year. But it's put us down as league winners again, with Manchester City second and Arsenal third and Aston Villa fourth and Newcastle fifth, which is interesting. 86 wins you the league? I think so. And yeah, and that's what I wanted to laugh at as well. It's got United and Tottenham 14th and 15th again. So it's funny, isn't it? And it's also got all three teams that got promoted to all go back down again, which is crazy. And it's also got Wolves like literally scraping it, and Everton again. But I just thought I'd show you that because it's an interesting one. Supercomputer running the numbers on that. Obviously, I showed you the Cody stuff. I really like this, by the way. I really like this. Like, there's probably a lot of people that have looked into this and thought it's a bit negative. I don't think it is. Soboslai's not giving up his number 10 position. Like, he's just making it clear, like you're not taking my position, mate. Like, you're not just going to walk into the team. Like, I'm going to fight for what I've got, and I like that. I really like that. I respect that. That's fight and talk. Like, why on earth would we want our players to just go, oh, okay, I'm just giving up my number? And McAllister said the same. I'm not giving up my number 10 shirt. Like, I think it's great. All competition, competitive. It's great. It's absolutely great. Yeah, I think so too. I actually, depending on what we do with the winger situation, I have a feeling that if Diaz goes or Cody goes, Wirtz might get played as a left-sided player. I really do. Burnley had a really good season, you're right. They really did. But they also had a really bad season in the Premier League. And sometimes it's just not the same. Like, sometimes it's just not the same. So I wanted to show you the Collins stuff. So it was here. Where is it? It's a bit further down. This one here. So this is in TBR Football. I can bring the link up, but there's no point. So basically, oh, okay. So he doesn't play in the same team as Connor Bradley. He plays He played with Queven Gallagher. Okay. So yeah, Liverpool are looking at 24. I didn't know he was 24, by the way. Nathan Collins. I do think he's a good player. I think he's a good player, Nathan Collins. Like, I do rate him. But Tottenham and Newcastle are also looking at him as well. I just thought I'd mention it that we have inquired about him as a centre back option. I do think if we did get Nathan Collins, I think he would be okay being their choice. I don't think he would have a problem with rotating with Konate. Like, I just don't. But I also think he could be a really good Konate replacement as well, by the way. I think he's a good player. Like, he was good at Wolves, and he got a good move to Brentford. Yeah, I just don't see Hato yet. I just think Hato's still too young. He's still raw. Like, no, I think he'd be third. I think he'd be third choice. Like, he's better than he'd take Quanta and Gomez's place. He would. He's a good player. He's a really good player. Yeah, it's an interesting one with Konate. Like, it just is. Like, there's so much talk about it now that Real Madrid. It's in Marseille. Like, Real Madrid are now looking at another one they're going to take from Liverpool. And maybe they just carry on doing that. I don't know. If you remember under Rafa Benitez, we lost a few players to Spain, like Mascherano and Alonso, and there was a number of players, even Michael Owen and McManaman. Like, we lost players to Spain. Like, we couldn't stop them from going. It could happen again. Like, they're a big club that can pull players, so we need to be careful with it. But for me, I really don't want to break those two up. I really don't want to break Konate and Virgil up next year, and I'd be more than happy to take Konate for another year. And if we can't get the contract done, then he just walks. Like, I would take that, because winning a league or a Champions League with Konate and Virgil is worth more. It's worth more than selling him now for maybe 40 million. Like, you might not even get 40 million for him because he's only got 1 year left. But the continuity of those two, it needs to stay. Like, it just needs to stay. Like, and if it takes, I don't know, if it takes him just walking out of the club, then it takes him just walking out of the club. But at least we've got all of that time to work on a contract, just like we did with Virgil and Mo. Like, it just, like, we would have a year to do that. But if we go now and we just sell him, then we lose him completely, and we might not have had any opportunity to work on a contract this year. You know, we could be in a situation where the last 3 months of his contract, just like Mo and Virgil's, we're top of the league and we're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and it's a case of, why do you want to give this up? Like, and the club might just go, you know what, we'll just pay you, because we've done it before. We've done it with Mo and we've done it with Virgil, so we know that we can get contracts done late on with players. But selling him, we end up with nothing, and then we end up maybe getting a Collins or maybe getting an Inacio. And people are talking about Hato. Hato isn't going to replace Konate. Like, are you out of your mind? Like, De Winter isn't going to replace Konate. Konate is probably the third best centre-back in the Premier League. Like, do you really think a 22-year-old De Winter is going to come in and replace Konate? He's just not. Like, Van Hecker isn't going to replace Konate. Like, it's going to take a huge, huge player to replace Konate, because you've got a guy that's got a telepathic relationship with Virgil van Dijk for years. Like, and I get players come in and Virgil can make them better. But there's probably only 1 or 2 players that would come into the Liverpool team and maybe hit the ground running as a centre-back with Virgil. And one of them plays for Arsenal. We're not getting him. And potentially another one plays for Chelsea, but we're not getting him either. So we're not going to get Colwell, and we're certainly not going to get Saliba. So who do you go for next? So, okay, maybe you try and get Gahey, but is Gahey gonna come in and replace Canate? Because he can't do what Canate does. He can't do what Canate does. Canate does all the stuff Virgil doesn't want to do. And that's what makes Canate so special. He does all the stuff Virgil doesn't want to do. Virgil doesn't want to go and put the fires out. Virgil doesn't want to go flying in with tackles. Virgil doesn't want to go and win some of those headers. Doesn't want to do it. Virgil doesn't want to run out to the left-hand side, which is why Robbo's been playing really deep. That's not Virgil's game. Like, Virgil's calm, cool, collective, and he's the cover. And he starts the play off as well. And I get Canate does dumb stuff sometimes. But what he's going to have next season, he's going to have a right back with pace who's going to be in the position most of the time. You're not going to have a right back that's wandering into midfield playing his own game and not thinking about defending. That's what he's going to have. So he's not going to go and have to do all of that right back work, which he's been doing for years and years. And I don't think there's another player out there that can do 2 jobs all the time. I just can't see Branthwaite happening at all. Not with Moyes back. I just can't. Can't see it now with Moyes back. So we need to get that contract done. 100%. We need to get that contract done. And it's not going to be easy. But if we sell him now, then we're never going to have that chance of getting it done. So I'd rather we just kept him. Rather we just kept him and continue on and see whether we can get that sorted. Because we've done it with Mo and we've done it with Virgil. And we can use them to our advantage. Because we can go, look, we can do contracts. We can do contracts down to like the last 3 months or 6 months. We can do this. So that's the Canate piece. So quick bits on Kekes. Obviously, his dad is confirmed pretty much on television that he's come to Liverpool, and he was like signing shirts anyway. Obviously, Isak's been described as Liverpool's dream target. That's by Ornstein. Fabrizio Romano has also mentioned it as well. So, got to be excited about that. Andy Robinson's going to go away and think about what he's going to do. Kostas Tsimikas is being linked to what club is that? What's it? So Kostas Tsimikas has been linked to Nottingham Forest. Mainly because they've been playing Nico Williams on the left-hand side. I'll just share that one. So they've been playing Nico Williams on the left-hand side all season, but he's actually a right back, as we know, because he was our right back, well, reserve right back. So they're looking at Kostas Tsimikas. So there's a chance that he could go. The really interesting thing with him is, if you look at his body language on the last day, obviously when we were celebrating, he was saying goodbye. Like, you can't deny that his body language was he's leaving. He's not going to be there next season. Because his body language was the same as Trent's. Like, he was waving goodbye to all the fans. Like, so I'd be really surprised if he's at the club next season. I'd be so surprised, because Slot did not want to play him. Didn't want to play him. And the problem with Costas, it's not that he isn't a good player. He's just not fast. And I was listening to I think it was Steve Hall on Grizz Khan's podcast. If you haven't gone to check that out, check it out, Grizz. He was basically talking about Costas and Robbo, and I think what was really funny is the problem with Costas and Robbo, and why Costas probably doesn't replace Robbo, is because Robbo's actually faster than him. And when players are playing blind balls beyond, Costas isn't there because he hasn't got the pace to be there. So the ball just gets kicked out. And our midfielders are looking at him like, why aren't you there? And Costas is like, well, I can't do that. Like, I can't do what Robbo, I can't do the runs that Robbo does. So what's the point in him being there when we play this football, which suits Robbo so much because he's always been there, that then you put another guy in there who isn't going to be where Robbo is. So what's the point in it? Which is probably why we're signing Kerkez, because Kerkez has got unbelievable pace and he's going to be in the positions. So I don't think he's going to be there next season. Yeah, I rated him as well, by the way. I rated him as well. I thought he would have been a great replacement for Robbo, but he's obviously always injured. Yeah, you're right as well. The amount of times he gets caught jogging back. Yeah. 100%. So that's the bit on Costas. Where is it? So this is from Lewis Steele. So Lewis Steele's come out with some really wild stuff, by the way, and he also put his reputation on the line with Wirtz like a long time ago. So, oh yeah, Hato's not going anywhere. Like, he's going to get another year with one of our coaches as their new manager, and then we'll probably sign him next year if he's any good. Like, that's probably what's going to happen. We're not going for Lacaba. Lacaba's ridiculously priced, and he also didn't have a great season. He really didn't. And we're not going to spend a lot of money on a guy that's not had a great season. So I think what's really interesting is what Lewis Steele said. And Lewis Steele's basically said that Liverpool aren't scared of going up to 140 million. Like, they're not scared of offering this money. Like, and it's not going to be 140 million cash. Like, that's not how we do things. Like, we know that. Like, we paid Bayer Leverkusen 100 million cash. Like, that's been confirmed now. So we paid them cash for Wirtz, and then obviously the rest was add-ons. But Lewis has said that we're not scared in going in and breaking the record again. Like, and I'll bring up this message. And the word I keep getting is that this is not the end of things yet. Wirtz, Kerkez, Frimpong, Mamadashvili is not the end of LFC's shopping list. And also this one. There's a lot coming from him. The noise I keep getting is Liverpool are not done yet. This transfer window, they will go for a number 9. They will go for a number 9. Well, you have to look at it now. Who is the number 9? Because we're losing forwards. Federico Chiesa is leaving. Italy is the priority. Take him off Take him off the squad sheet. Chiesa will be gone next season. Nunes will be gone next season. That's 2 forwards gone. That leaves us with Jota as our number 9 and potentially Diaz. Well, Diaz has got a price on his head. It's 80 million euros. Everybody has a price on their head. We are getting a number 9, and there's a reason why there are so many number 9s which still haven't moved clubs. They still haven't moved clubs. And I'm going to share this screen again because I'll show you another one which is not going away. And it's the guy I said from day one that we will have on our list, and it's Victor Osimhen. It's not going away. And we're in negotiations with a deal for 2 players that are going to Napoli. You don't think that Napoli are trying to push Osimhen out the opposite direction? Like, they could literally save themselves 70 million if they throw in a Victor Osimhen. Like, that's a deal that can get done. And Isak, Ekitike, Osimhen, they are going nowhere. Manchester United want Osimhen, turn them down. They want Ekitike. I don't know what's happening with that. And then obviously Arsenal. Arsenal was supposed to be in for Osimhen. Arsenal was supposed to be in for Victor Gyökeres. Arsenal was supposed to be in for Isak. No. We are still in for a big number 9. Maybe even 2. Like, the amount of forwards that are still undecided at Liverpool, like, there's enough of you in here that think that Jota can go. Well, that's our number 9 gone. Our only number 9 on paper. And then Diaz. If Barcelona stump up the 80 million euro cash, or Luis Diaz decides, you know what, I'll go to Saudi, he's gone. Like, that's another player. So then all we have left is Cody Gakpo, who Bayern Munich are still looking at, who Bayern Munich have on their shopping list, and Mo Salah. That's it. That's it. That's all you've got. So what have you got left? You've got plenty of places to fill, and you've got plenty of money off the sales that you've just made. It's insane. It is just insane. Like, it's just insane that this forward situation is still rumbling on. And I think it's going to rumble on for a little bit longer. I really do, because I think players need to start moving. So we need to start shifting forwards out of our club to then replace them with forwards. Barcola's not going. Barcola is not going. Like, he's at a club. He's actually at a tournament. Like, you know, as much as we want Julian Alvarez is not going. He's not going. He's in a tournament now. Like, these guys are playing in tournaments. We're not signing players who are in tournaments. So you can scrap all of that. You can scrap all of that. So you're looking at Isak, you're looking at Osimhen, you're looking at Ekitike. You're looking at players that aren't playing in major tournaments because we want them for the pre-season, and they won't be available for the pre-season if they're in these tournaments. That's not how we do things. It's the reason why we're getting our business done early. I just think it's going to be really interesting, and the conversations are, and the players are, Osimhen, Gordon, Isak, still on the table, still looking at them. Definitely Anthony Gordon. Like, I know Tyler Diblin's one that's popped up, but I just think they want too much money. He's not worth 50 million. He's just not worth 50 million. Xavi Simons is also one that's popped up as well, but 92 million euros is an insane amount of money that they want. I also wanted to bring up this one as well. Where is it? I thought this one. Okay, so that's another one. João Pedro, Newcastle or Chelsea. That's the 7 clubs for Joe Gomez. Sunderland, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Everton, West Ham, Leeds United, Burnley. All interested in Joe Gomez. All Premier League clubs. And then the biggest one, Agent Curtis Jones. He's on holiday. He's on holiday with Anthony Gordon. He's on holiday with Anthony Gordon. Like you don't think we've been down this road before? We've definitely been down this road before. Like Agent Curtis Jones. You don't think he's having a chat with Gordon? Gordon would love to play at Liverpool with Curtis Jones. He'd love it. Absolutely love it. He's another guy, not gone anywhere, no links to anybody. Nobody's linked with Anthony Gordon. Anybody is linked with Anthony Gordon at all. Liverpool nearly signed him. Watch this space with him. I'm telling you, that could be one that really does happen. And obviously, that's what Anthony Robinson said. So, sorry, Andy Robinson. There was something interesting I heard about Andy Robinson as well. Is he's one of our highest paid players. Like, how can you have one of your highest paid players on the bench next season? Like, that's just not how we do things. Like, we didn't feel good when Thiago wasn't in the team. Like, we don't like paying big wages to players that aren't playing football. Like, why would we pay him 180,000 a week to be on the bench? That's like 8.5 million a year. It's a lot of money. Like, when you could have another guy that can just do that job, because he's not going to play many games. So I just feel that one is an interesting one, which I think we could rectify, and that's a dream move for him. Like, he's 31, he could go and do 2 years out there and then get his move to Celtic. Like, that's a great move. I don't think he's going to be getting that much. I think he's going to be getting about 100. If you look at the money that Conor Bradley got a bump up to 75,000, which was the same as Kostas Tsimikas. So if Tsimikas goes, he's on 75 grand. So you move him out as well. So you're basically moving those wages out. What you could do really is you could just give Robbo's wages to Canate and Canate's wages to Kerkez. And then you can also get rid of Kostas, who's on 75, and potentially give that to Inacio. Like, that's or Collins if you sign Collins, but I think Collins will cost like 50 million. Or even Guehi. Guehi you could probably give 100 grand to. But I think it's interesting as well with some of these players. I think that's all I've got for you now. There's this one that popped up, but I don't know how realistic that is. But Aston Villa and Liverpool are looking at Real Betis youngster Jesus Rodriguez. He's got a 25 million euro release clause. So that's an interesting one. Maybe that's one we pull the trigger on. He's a winger. Maybe we pull the trigger on him. We're also looking at the Leon Wonder kid, who's in my comments. Where is it? So this is in the Mirror. This is 55 minutes ago. I'm just going to bring this one up. Oops. So Liverpool joined Chelsea in the race for £43 million. Malik Fofana. This is the one I wanted to bring up. So he's been heavily linked with us, and apparently we've spoken to him. We've actually had conversations with him, and he does want to come to Liverpool. So he's another one of those players that has come out and said, Liverpool. The only problem is, I believe Lyon have got a 2-year transfer ban, which means they can't sign any players because of a tax bill that they didn't pay. So I don't know whether they would sanction selling any players. Obviously, they got rid of Cherky, but Cherky only had like 1 year left on his contract. But this guy, if we could get him, we could probably pay a minimal fee and then installments. But he's a good player, but he would be backup. He would definitely be like, Cody Gakpo's backup or Diaz's backup if Cody Gakpo goes, but he would be a player that would be second choice. He wouldn't be third choice. I think he'd be second choice. So if one of the wingers went, he would be a replacement. He's a good player, but he's very raw. So I don't know. I don't know how true that is. Maybe that's one we sign and loan out. I don't know. Like, we'd have to look at it, but I think what's interesting with Liverpool is we need to sell some forwards before we get forwards in, because we've got too many, and they need to go before we start replacing them. And obviously, with some of the other players, we knew, like Trent was gone, so we knew we needed a right back, and obviously we knew we needed a number 10. We were crying out for one last year, so we know that's happening. We also know that Elliott's probably going, so we'll be fine. Right, I'm going to end the show now then, okay? Amazing that you've all stayed here. There's over 500 of you still here. If you could hit the like and subscribe, that would be amazing. I also wanted to just pop this up here as well. If you want to join my membership, it's open to all. Become a rebel. It's growing. I started about 2 weeks ago. I've got about 60 people now. Have I got any supers? No, I haven't got any supers to announce. No super chats. Okay. So yeah, become a rebel. I'll be going live again when there's more news. Essentially, we announce Wirtz and Kirkes tomorrow. That will be a great Friday to take us into the weekend, which will be brilliant. If not, then you all have a wonderful day, weekend, and I will catch you all up soon. If you haven't liked, subscribed, please do again, and obviously hit the poll. Let me see what we're at. 2 seconds. We are at 68% say yes out of 191. I think we can work with that. I think that's good enough. I think we're all believers. I think the majority of us think that we'll get him, which is great. I'll see you all later. Take care and bye-bye.